We're going to have cars coming to town for Shades of the Past, so you're going to find some busy traffic. Nothing like it's going to be next week at this time, but you'll still find some slowdowns as those cars come to town for the big event at Dollywood Splash Country, and that's going to be, again, the Shades of the Past car show. One of 2 car shows we'll have 2 weeks in a row. Next week is Rod Run. Definitely prepare for some very heavy traffic on that weekend especially, but we'll have some heavy traffic here as well. 407 coming into town, it's going to be busy. Also, we do have some closures in the National Park. That includes Fighting Creek Gap and Little River Gorge and Elkmont Roads as well. We always know that Kira and Savannah are having fun in the Smoky Mountains every morning, and let's see what they're up to now.
Well, here we are again, once again, on Morning in the Mountain Sports Edition, down here with Jack Darrell and the Microtorium Micro Wrestlers behind me. And I can tell you, these guys are amazing, amazing. Now, for those of you who think this is fake, you're wrong. As you saw me say them words, which you never want to do around the ring ever. I'm still recovering, by the way. Tell me about the training that these guys got to go through to be in condition to do the kind of stuff that they do, because they are extreme athletes as far as I'm concerned, so it's an incredible thing. Talk about the training a little bit.
Well, not only do we have the show in Pigeon Forge right here, but what we also opened up is called the Micro Wrestling Academy. We're the only wrestling school in the world that is, the trainers here are all little people. We only train little people. So El Torito and Jacob Brooks, which is the Redneck Brawler, and his brother Baby Jesus, who is on the road right now. There are 3 trainers. So like the guys will go out, they do their promotions in the daytime, and we spend 2 hours a day. They come in, they go over their matches, work out, they do rolls, flips. You know, the big thing with wrestling is trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's so unnatural to take, it's called a bump. When they take a bump, they fall backwards, and it's so unnatural to fall backwards.
I know that from experience.
So these guys come in, they practice falling, you know what I mean? And then they practice falling with new kids, and then they get in and, you know, look at El Torito, nonstop right there. The guy is the epitome of fitness right there, you know? So any little people out there that ever watching this video, if you have aspired to become a wrestler, here it is, the Micro Wrestling Academy in Pigeon Forge with, like I said, with trainers that are actually current workers in the Micro Wrestling Federation.
Now, say she says it's all only specific to little people. So
Yes.
I'm sure that we're going to have some incredible people out there in our listening audience that are in the little people category and would like to find out more information about that. What's the best way for someone to get in contact with you to find out more about
Our website is microwrestling.com. My phone number's on there, my email's on there, our tour calendar's on there. Another thing I'd like to say too is if there's any organization, no matter where you are across the country in Pigeon Forge, if you're looking for a fundraiser, what better way to raise money for any type of organization than using the Micro Wrestling event for that?
Yeah.
Student organizations, churches, fire departments, police departments, give me a buzz and I'll explain how you could get this show free of charge.
Wow.
And then make money for whatever type of fundraiser you have.
Well, we are so excited that you're here in Pigeon Forge. Thanks for everything that you're doing here in the community and offering to do fundraisers and help people raise money for their funds and their organizations. Man, Jack, it's a pleasure. And we'll get back with you at a later time because we want to keep coming down here and doing more interviews. And maybe we can do something outside next time.
Hey, and tickets right now are half price.
Half
Normally
price.
30, 35, and 40. They're only 15, 17, 50. You can sit ringside for $20 and watch the Micro Wrestlers.
Back to you.
It is Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. Hi, Frank Murphy here with Robert Owenby, Jim Johnson, and Brad Lovett. Thanks so much for watching us each and every day at this time. You can also get our archived episodes on Facebook and YouTube and on Roku. I was scrolling through the archived episodes on Roku to show some family members the time that Artie and Timmy crashed into the show.
That was a great
couple of
time.
weeks
I
back.
really enjoyed having
Yeah.
them in the studios that
Yeah.
day. It was fun.
So that was cool stuff. All right, let's talk about everything else that's happening in and around the Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee with Brad Lovett.
If you want to be here this fall,
Yes,
or
I do.
winter,
I would like to still be here this fall. Please. Can you make that happen?
yes, I'll do that. In the Smoky Mountains, you might want to work at Dollywood.
Ah, yes.
And Dollywood is hosting some job fairs, and you might want to be there at the next one. And of course, folks do camp for the season and work at Dollywood. Maybe
Oh,
something
yeah,
that you'd
work
like to do.
campers. I knew some people who did that. They would travel around and work at different See's candy kiosks around the country, and they live in their camper. And yeah, it's called. There's actually a website for this. Work campers.
Mm-hmm.
They like you're on vacation, but you get a job while you go on wherever it is you end up, and then that's how you support your camping life.
How
That's
fun.
right.
RV
and
life, like,
Amazon
you know.
hires a lot of folks for that, especially holidays. And
Yeah.
the secret I've been told is you register your vehicle and your home, quote unquote, in Texas because of taxes.
Oh, that's clever.
And so because
That becomes your home base. Okay.
Right, that's your home base. You have your post office box or your UPS store box or whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and that's your home, and you just travel the country. But if you would like to work at Dolly, be it local, be you a local or someone visiting, they're having job fairs, and you want to be in town Saturday, September 14th at Smoky Stadium from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They'll have another one on Thursday, September 19th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Severe Air on Collier Drive in Sevierville. Positions are available on several teams like Dollywood's foods and merchandise teams, as well as park operations positions, including attractions, ticketing, transportation, house and grounds, and more. And also, Dreammore Resort and Spa has a number of openings.
I have an idea. If we're going to help people get a job at Dollywood, Robert can help us with this. All right, Robert, if you want to come and get a job at Dollywood, I think you have to be able to authentically say, y'all come back now, you're here. I'm obviously a transplant, but how would I say it authentically?
Y'all come back now, you hear?
That's it.
Is it? I used to
You're
sing
hired.
at Dollywood at the Robert F. Thomas Church. And
Yeah.
I did sing in there and also on the back porch.
So you got a paycheck from Dollywood.
I didn't get a paycheck from them. I did it pro bono.
Oh, all right. But there's jobs, though. There's actual
But
paid
there are
jobs.
jobs. But I did this because they invited me to come in and perform. It
Wait,
wasn't
wait,
really
wait.
a paying job.
You said
it
it was at
a-
the chapel, though. I missed that
performing,
part.
yes.
All right. You weren't like doing a stage show. You were doing
It was a
worship
stage show.
in the chapel.
It was a stage show, yes.
Oh, cool.
But it was fun.
So he's worked there. All right.
Alrighty. Now, we do have the Tennessee Valley Fair starting tomorrow. Boz Scaggs in town tonight, from what I hear.
Yeah, Boz Scaggs not at the Tennessee Valley Fair.
Right.
Boz Scaggs has missed it by one day.
Yes.
He's at the Tennessee Theater tonight, and then the fair starts tomorrow at Chilhowie Park.
All right, that dirty lowdown.
No, that's Boz Scaggs.
Boz Scaggs tonight, yes.
Boz Scaggs is the Lido Shuffle lowdown guy, and that's tonight at the Tennessee Theater. I think the tickets are sold out, I'm pretty sure. But you might want to check anyway online and see if there's somebody throwing them back or if there's some single seats available at Ticketmaster.com.
All right. Now, you had a brush with greatness, or at least Congress anyway, a couple weeks ago.
Brad and his wife were in the audience at our Einstein Simplified 25th anniversary shows back in August. And you're right, because we're talking about all this stuff that's coming up. And Tim Burchett, who is the congressman for the 2nd District of Tennessee, and therefore is the congressman for downtown Knoxville, came to present certificates of congratulations to Einstein Simplified on 25 years of comedy. And it was really cool because we had mayoral proclamations from Madeline O'Hara and Glenn Jacobs, and a statewide proclamation from Rick Staples, who actually had even trained with Einstein Simplified before he got into politics. And then Tim Burchett. So then I bring up Tim Burchett on stage, and he sees that everything's funny. He sees it's a comedy show. He decides he's going to tell us a joke, right? But except it's true. He tells us the story that he says, so I'm a newly minted member of Congress on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and one day I show up and there's all this hubbub around the Capitol. Turns out the King of Jordan was visiting the U.S. Capitol, and they needed to find a member of Congress to go greet the King of Jordan. And they're just looking all over. It's like a regular job. I couldn't believe this. Just going up and down the halls looking for anybody who's a technically member of Congress. Hey, you're a freshman. You're on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and you're a member of Congress. Come on. So he has to go greet the King of Jordan. So Tim Burchett says, well, I walked up to him and I said, well, hello, King. Which is not what you say to a king, but hey, King. And King of Jordan and his wife are there. She's beautiful, and he wants to know where I'm from. So Tim Burchett tells the King of Jordan, I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. And the King of Jordan's eyes go wide. And the King of Jordan says, oh, no kidding. My wife and I love to visit Gatlinburg. So Tim Burchett, the congressman, looks at him and then, of course, Nate jumps into the joke part. He says, I can just picture the King of Jordan standing on the street corner in Gatlinburg wearing a tank top and eating taffy. And his queen with an airbrushed tube top that says, I'm with stupid. So he tells this story on the stage in front of 200 people at Einstein Simplified. And I'm like, I gotta tell everybody at Mountain Fun Life about that. Thank you for reminding me.
The proper address would be Your Majesty.
I would think, not I'm with
Or
stupid.
something.
Yeah.
I'm with stupid.
Yeah, so any one of us can say that about this segment of the show. So we'll move on. Don't forget our Mountain Fun Life best deals at 865-978-1152. We'll be back with more coming right up. And one of the great things we can offer you on Mountain Fun Life is discounts on tickets to some of the fantastic attractions that are all throughout the Smoky Mountains and East Tennessee. Well, all you have to do is give a call to Mountain Fun Life's best deals at 865-978-1152, 865-978-1152, and save money when you and your family are visiting the Smokies.
Good morning. This is Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. We thank you for watching and sharing. My name is Brad Lovett. I'm here with
Robert Omby.
and we're going to talk to you about the history of the Smoky Mountains as
Yes.
we have been doing. Now, why in the world would we call this the Smoky Mountains?
I am asked that very often. How come the Smoky Mountains are called the Smoky Mountains? Well, there is a reason behind that. So that's what we were going to be discussing in this segment. As to how the Smoky Mountains came to be called the Smoky Mountains. Well, why are they called the Smoky Mountains? Good question. They're called the Smoky Mountains. They get the name from the blue mist that usually hovers over the peaks and valleys. The blue mist that rises, as you see a lot of times on, especially early of a morning, late of the evening. The Cherokee called this the Chaconage, Chaconage. How would you pronounce that one?
I don't know if I would. I barely made a Conalifty, so I mean,
You barely made a Conalifty. Yep. The Cherokee called it Chaconage, which means the place of blue smoke. Mm-hmm. Now that is the historical information that I got on why they came to be called the Smoky Mountains. And it is also spelled Shagonigia, Shagonigai. And the mist, the mist is caused by, sometimes it varies actually. It can be the condensation. You know how the condensation of the change in temperature will cause like a foggy mist to lift up off the ground, the rivers and the plant growth and all that. And of course it can be caused by the early morning fog or whenever fog after a rain. And it can also be caused by not only condensation, but clouds can hover down, the low-lying clouds can hover down over the mountains and cause it to look kind of smoky. Now there is a second theory as to how this name came about to be called Smoky Mountains. And in my opinion, this is less likely, but at least it's a theory. So to be fair to those who came up with this theory, I will present this one also. The Native Americans had well, they would go out and gather the nuts and whatever, the roots, and they would have to burn the undergrowth. So they would set fire to the leaves, because in the fall of the year, if you've been here in late fall, those leaves, and you've taken a hike through the mountains, those leaves can stack up very high. Now the theory goes that the Cherokee, the native Cherokee, would light this on fire to clear this so they could see the chestnuts, If they gathered acorns, I think they gathered acorns too. So what they would do, they would burn off the undergrowth so they could see those nuts and gather those for their use. But the Cherokees were great conversationists. Conservationists. I was going to pull that. I was going to pull that.
I'm sure they're conversationalists. Yes.
Conversationist. I did that deliberately. That was no
I see,
accident.
okay.
What I was going to do was pull that on my buddy Frank, but he took out of here and you filled in for him. That was intended for Frank Murphy.
All right.
You got it. You got it instead of Frank. Went right over your head too. I'll have to pull it on him later. They were conservationists, so they would burn the leaves and some of the low-lying brush and undergrowth, and they could find those chestnuts and whatever they needed. But anyway, it's very interesting to how that it got its name. But I prefer to go with seems to be more logical, of the mist that rises up from the forest, or the low-lying clouds, because usually if you're driving around as a native being born in the area, I would look and I would see that, and logically, to me, it would be, the first position would be correct. It would be from the moisture and the low-lying clouds, fog, and whatever. During the wintertime, the fog at certain times during freezing weather, especially when the temperatures drop on the highest peaks, and you're driving into town and you look up and you think it's snow, but it's not. All the trees, hemlock, all those trees are covered with a white, looks like someone just sprayed them with white paint or something. And the reason for that is the condensation or moisture in the air will freeze and just cling to the whatever remaining leaves, the bark, the limbs. It's beautiful. I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
So if you're ever in the area during the winter time and you see that, then that is part of the process of this being called the Great Smoky Mountains.
Very good. And that's another history lesson from Robert Ombie, and you're watching Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life.
The best way to see the Smokies, Rocky Top Scenic and Leisure Tours. Our beautiful tours of the Great Smoky Mountains will take you where you want to go. Imagine experiencing the beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains through the windows of our mini coach. Every member of the family can devote themselves to the passing landscape. We take you to the best places. So if you're looking for the best way to enjoy the Smoky Mountains, let us take you on a Rocky Top bus tour. Rocky Top Bus Tour, the best way to see the Smokies.
Well, if you're here for Shades of the Past this weekend, your car may get wet. Look for a chance of a shower or maybe even a thunderstorm today, as we'll have temperatures around 85 degrees. Overnight lows in the 60s, but it's more or less the pattern we've had for quite a while here, as we're still in summer as far as the calendar says, until about the 22nd of September. And no real signs of fall, but if you head to the upper elevations, you just might see a leaf or two turning. Again, temperatures in the 80s today, and we have more coming up here on Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Hey, welcome to the Smokies. It's Rusty Junior Ranger, and we're so glad to have you here in Tennessee, East Tennessee, and we hope you have a wonderful time while you're here. We like to tell people a little bit about what's going on around here and make sure they get in on some of the beauty before they leave. And I have a friend here, he's been here for several weeks and just singing songs that he's written, and I love to hear every one of them. His name is Robert Ombie. Hi, Robert.
Hi, how you doing, Rusty Junior Ranger?
Well, I'm kind of up in a tree.
You're up in the tree, I can see that.
Yeah, but the view is great up here.
I'm sure it is. The view of the Smoky Mountains is just super no matter where you're at.
I can see 2, 3, 4 layers of mountains around here, and each one's a different shade of blue.
Oh, yes, and they are so beautiful when they are shaded like that.
Yes. Well, you know, I was walking a trail the other day, and it looked like it was an old like where they put the tracks down for a train up there near Townsend. Have you ever been up there?
Yes, there used to be a logging camp and a logging train haul logs from the logging yard right on down to the sawmill where they saw the logs up.
I thought maybe something like that was up there. People can go up there and actually walk that trail, can't they?
Yes, they sure can.
And I hear trains also sometime, and I think they're coming from way over at Dollywood.
Dollywood has a beautiful locomotive over there, probably more than one, and it is such a wonderful ride.
And they're not fake trains that were just made for the amusement park, right?
No, they are not fake trains. They were actually used years ago to on the putting in the railroad tracks and carrying goods for the gold rush. At Klondike, Alaska, going up that way, by the way of Klondike Pass, and right on up to Alaska, and it was the gold rush time, and that train helped to haul the miners and their equipment.
Oh, well, do you have a song about trains?
I have a song about train, and it's called Big Train. I actually wrote this for another big train, and this was written for a train company that we're all familiar with. And so I'm going to sing the song now. It's called Big Train.
Thanks.
Well, metal touching metal, hear that lonesome clicking sound, grinding out a rhythm with a rumble on the ground. I'm going to ride this train until no one can find the track. Yeah, I'm going to ride this train. And I call this train the Big Train. Big train, big train, keep on rolling down the track. Well, big train, I said big train, keep on rolling down the track. Clickety-clack. Well, I'm leaving everything behind me, and someday I may just let you bring me back. Big train, big train, big train.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That song was actually written for Norfolk Southern Railroad Company.
Oh, my goodness.
And when I wrote that song for them, they sent me a lot of really nice gifts, all boxed up from their office. And so I thoroughly enjoyed writing that song for them.
You mean you got some gifts like a 5-year supply of train overalls or something?
Well, I got T-shirts and a lot of little things like that they had in their office that they sent to me as their appreciation for writing the train song for them.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope they keep using that song forever.
Yes. Anyway, we thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you again.
Bye-bye.
How do we turn moments into memories? Those moments where the right people are right beside you, and the anticipation of reaching the top makes you feel like a kid again, where the only arguments are who goes first, and trying something new never gets old. Visit us at Anakeesta, where there's magic in the mountains.
Good morning, and thanks for watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. I think today might be Dolly Parton's favorite day because it's 9 to 5. September 5th, right? No? All right.
I believe you're right.
Anyway, Robert Hohenby is
Whatever you
here.
say.
Jim Johns is here. Brad Lovett is here. What do you got for us, Brad?
Well, it is Shades of the Past Eve,
Yeah.
but a lot of the cars are here already,
Oh, of course.
and they've been here all week. And that Shades of the Past, it's going on at Splash Country. That will be officially tomorrow and Saturday, and $10 admission for that. And they're going to be giving away a big prize too. They'll be giving away a hot rod. It's a 1932 Ford Highboy Roadster,
I feel like we should say hot rod.
right? And a $10,000 cash prize.
Oh.
Just $10 to walk in the door. Children under 12 do get in free. And you can roam the grounds and take a look at all the hot rods or find a deal at the Giant Swap Meet.
Hot rod, street rod, swap meets.
Sunday. Yeah.
Free admissions for the kids.
A lot of those
the Shades of the Past, what I like, a lot of those are restored originals, not necessarily with the souped up end. They're restored
'Cause
originals.
in some of these shows, when you
but,
see
but
the
now
street rods.
they do have hot rods too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a rule. I've interviewed the guy from the National Street Rod Association, and every one of those has a classification, and I can't remember it, but one of them has to be a car that was manufactured between this year, and is street legal and can run and has been souped up some way. But so there's a difference between street rods and hot rods. I couldn't tell you without Googling it. So
Restamod, you got Restamod, you got
Yeah.
all those kinds of
So
things.
you know.
Yeah. A little bit.
All right.
A little bit. I love cars.
All right, and even more cars next week, of course.
More cars.
That's the big one. That's going to be Rod Run, and that happens September 12th through 14th. And the official event is at the Lacan Center. But cars will parade slowly, and I emphasize slowly, as in very slowly, down the parkway. A lot of folks got their chairs set up for the whole weekend to watch the cars, and always a good time. But of course, if you want to do something else here, you might want to make plans to be in Gatlinburg and make sure you know some of the back ways around.
Yeah. Check out take a look at a map, online and find a way around. There's alternate routes, plenty of them.
And schools will even let out a little bit early
Oh,
on
really?
Friday.
One of my favorite alternate routes to get to Gatlinburg, you go past this gas station that sells really good fried chicken. It's out there all by itself, back up there by Brochure Distribution Services. I don't know why, they just have good gas station chicken. You probably know the one I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
You talk, Veterans Parkway, is that?
It's further back than that, I think.
You turn at the
okay.
Walgreens.
Yeah, it's back like
At the Walgreens?
you're going
At the
through
end
like
of
Murphy's
Albuquerque
Chapel and Pittman Center and all that stuff back in that way.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll show you on a map where Brochure Distribution Services has their little facility back there. All right.
Okay.
Right. So come check out the cars this weekend and next weekend. Now, we had a story about family heirlooms coming back to the Smoky Mountains, and Great Smoky Mountains National Park received a generous gift. It's a priceless donation of Cades Cove artifacts for their museum collections. Now, the great-granddaughter of Dan and Sidney Lawson, one of the well-known families here in the Smoky Mountains, granddaughter Robin lives in Chattanooga now, and she donated a chest of drawers, family Bible, wedding portraits, and other family photographs in the National Park, or to the National Park Service for long-term preservation, and that is going to be housed in Townsend at the Preservation Center.
That's cool. I got to ask Vic Lawson. He used to be a fire chief in Knoxville. If he's in that part of that Lawson family, because his wife runs the PBS station. So if you get to see Chief comes out. He comes to all the employee parties and stuff. I'll have to check it.
Okay.
You think
He
would any of those Lawsons have made it over to Knoxville? Probably.
Sure, he probably is.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Be good to check into.
I will. All right.
Tennessee Valley Fair starts tomorrow, and there's all kinds of fun here in the Smoky Mountains.
Yes, so do call our concierge service if you're spending some time in and around, especially during this week. You can hop over to the Tennessee Valley Fair one day and then go see something spectacular in and around Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville. Call our Mountain Fun Life Best Deals at 865-978. Actually, I'll tell you something. 865-978-1152. In improv, this is not a phone.
That's not a phone.
No.
What's this, a phone?
This would be a phone.
This would be a phone.
Because you have to pretend the object's really there. It's
Yes.
called object work. And that's how we do improv. All right. 865-978-1152. We'll be back with more on Morning in the Mountains coming right up. And one of the great things we can offer you on Mountain Fun Life is discounts on tickets to some of the fantastic attractions that are all throughout the Smoky Mountains and East Tennessee. Well, all you have to do is give a call to Mountain Fun Life's Best Deals at 865-978-1152, 865-978-1152, and save money when you and your family are visiting the Smokies. We are enjoying a Friday Eve this Thursday here on Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. Time to take a look at some sports and stuff from Jim Johnson.
Well, it's getting closer and closer to the weekend, like you said, Friday Eve, and they have that rivalry game right here in the Smoky Mountains. Starting tonight, it's going to be Morristown West and Jefferson County are playing their rivalry Thursday.
I think they do that for TV. It would make sense because you get to have all the extra hype and an extra broadcast. So it's Jefferson County High School. I've been there multiple times for. Actually, did this one year. We had to go to high school games almost every week, and as a fundraiser for Second Harvest Food Bank. So I've been to a lot of the high school games around the area, and Jeffco is a great place. It's just off I-40 at exit 417. Then you go by maybe 2-3 miles up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're in the area and you don't have anything to do and you're in the Smoky Mountains visiting from around the country, boy, I tell you, going to a high school football game here is almost
times.
like going to a college game.
Right, and if that's, if you're busy for tonight, we'll have tomorrow, check back with us tomorrow for the schedule. I know there's a big game in Sevier County coming up tomorrow night as well.
Yes.
It's a GP at Northview.
That's a big game. Now, you can get all that information at CoachT.com. He does a wonderful job at putting every event that you could possibly want, not just football, but he also for girls, softball, volleyball, soccer, boys and girls soccer, all the events that you want, sporting events wise, CoachT.com has a great place.
Be a joke for us if T turned out to be for Tina and Coach T was a lady and we didn't know.
Wouldn't that be something?
Why not? I mean, look at all the great female coaches in the...
There's a ton. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, so Coach, we don't know. Coach T, we don't mean to be gender specific, we just assumed.
We did, but that's not right. We shouldn't be, because I'm right there with you.
I'm playing. No, it's supposed to. Coach T is like a neutral brand. They probably have all sorts of people working. There's no one Coach T. It's like
because it would be an awful lot of information
for one guy or one gal.
It's amazing.
It's too much work.
There's
a whole staff.
It is a pretty amazing website. You can get all the information you ever thought you could possibly want on sports in
the whole state
in Tennessee.
Yeah, all the way to Memphis.
And they got little red dots everywhere.
I know people from around here like to joke that Memphis really is part of Arkansas, but I don't know why they.
Memphis is still Tennessee.
We got that rivalry. It's rivalry time when you're talking about sports. East versus West and both versus the middle.
And that leads us to tonight's game. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Rivalry Thursday.
All right,
That
very
might be
cool.
exactly why they do that.
Yeah, exactly. Get some good coverage. Last week was one of the big ones, like two teams from Loudoun County. A week ago, it was Lenore City and Loudoun, the Battle of the Bridge. And then tonight, Morristown and Jefferson County, they're adjacent counties, Hamblin and Jeffco.
Real close to each other.
Yeah, you got to drive through Jefferson County to get to Morristown from the interstate.
It just takes me back, remembering high school football when I was in high school, and those were some of the best times going to the football game.
Oh, yeah.
High school stadium.
Very cool. All right. Well, it is Friday Eve, so we'll get on with it and get back with more information for you right after this on Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel.
Mountain Fun Life is your one-stop headquarters for Smokies baseball. The 2019 season is coming to a close, so don't miss a pitch and catch the Smokies at America's friendliest ballpark. Make your plans to join us, and you just might end up on Mountain Fun Life. It's Smokies baseball and Mountain Fun Life, keeping you entertained and aware all year long. Book your 9-inning vacation at SmokiesBaseball.com.
It's another fun day, Friday Eve, on Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Live channel. We're getting ready for all the excitement happening tomorrow and all weekend long. If you got lucky enough to have Boz Skaggs tickets for tonight, enjoy that show. Robert Omby's here, Jim Johnson's here, Brad Levitt's here, and we got more coming up tomorrow, right?
We do.
Anything in particular? Or we'll just figure it out tomorrow.
We're dusting off the seats. We've got the big car show this weekend.
All right, we'll figure that out tomorrow. All right, thanks for watching on Roku, on Facebook, on YouTube, etc. Like us and share us. We appreciate it. This is Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel.